Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News, episode 339. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Brandon Hodge here, and welcome back to another juicy episode of WWE News and Rumors. Glad to have you all here. If you're new here and you don't know what the heck is going on, well, this is the new show where I tell you guys the latest news regarding WWE, whether it be news or unconfirmed news, also called rumors, and actually give you my opinion on top of that, so it's an amazing deal. So subscribe if you're new here, but I'm not going to ramble on too much at the beginning. We have some news and rumors to talk about regarding WWE, so let's go ahead and jump right in. The first and actually only confirmed news story I have for you guys today is about Backlash. So I didn't realize this wasn't already confirmed. Apparently it's just now getting confirmed that Backlash is not having a crowd. I thought that was pretty obvious it wasn't having a crowd. We weren't like right there now. I mean, we were talking like in the future, maybe, well, not maybe, we will have a crowd in the future, but it's not going to be anytime soon. So yeah, Backlash is not having a crowd. Maybe, you know, something in the future. I know they're pushing for SummerSlam and stuff. We can talk more about it in kind of the rumors thing. But Backlash this year is another wrestling pay-per-view that will not actually have a crowd, which absolutely sucks, but we gotta be safe, right guys? So that was the only confirmed news story I had to talk to you guys about today, and now we're gonna talk about some unconfirmed news stories, also called rumors. I'm gonna use my catchphrase, which is on a t-shirt with a juice box on it, available on the Brandon Hodge merchandise store. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all the news stories, and now we're gonna talk about some juicy rumors. Alright, the first rumor is actually about WWE in, I guess, contracts, do pay kind of thing. So apparently right now, it's understandable, I guess, even though it sucks. Right now, WWE, when they are renegotiating contracts, they are not giving any raises currently. Which kind of like really suck, because when this whole, you know, pandemic thing is over and it kind of blows over and you're kind of stuck with this contract. Because you're signing a contract. They want you right now to sign a contract for more than 5 years if you're a wrestler with the WWE. Because they want to have you guys for longer. They don't want you going to a competitor, AEW. So, yeah, they're trying to get wrestlers to sign longer contracts, which is actually terrible right now that they're not giving any raises or something. And apparently this is something that Drew Gulak is the reason that he actually left the WWE, was because they were renegotiating the contract and they wouldn't give him any raise even though he was higher up on the card and actually, you know, wasn't really a cruiserweight much anymore and was doing stuff with Daniel Bryan and stuff. They wouldn't give him a raise. So that was basically, I guess, the final blow there. And again, this is a rumor. It could be true, could not be true. But as of right now, WWE, when they're renegotiating contracts, they're not giving any raises. I don't know if they would make an exception for someone like Brock Lesnar. I would say so. Because we know he's going to want more money and his contract is coming up. But if they're going to stick with no raises, then I would say Lesnar is out of here and there's no question about that. Alright, the next rumor is about Roman Reigns. So, Roman Reigns, there's been a lot of crazy rumors that have come out about Roman Reigns. So basically, his immune system is lower, right, than a normal person's immune system because of his leukemia. And he doesn't really need to be out in the elements right now with this whole crazy stuff going around because he can catch something a lot faster than someone else. So he decided, you know, not to wrestle at WrestleMania. He decided he's not wrestling right now. He's actually going to be staying home until this whole thing gets better, which is completely fine. And there was a rumor going around that everyone backstage in WWE thought that was okay, except Vince McMahon, the only person really backstage that matters. Apparently it rubbed him the wrong way, and he doesn't take this whole virus situation very seriously, and that they've been editing Roman Reigns out of stuff. Apparently that's not the truth. The truth is everything's okay, and there's actually no one really knows why he's being edited out of stuff. I don't know if it's a Vince call or if it's just like an editor kind of doing their own thing. So no one really knows. All we know is Roman is definitely getting edited out of things, and his name is not being thrown around a lot right now. Which is understandable because, you know, he's not wrestling right now. He's not really in the current storyline, so they kind of want him to, you know, do his own thing until this thing passes over, then try to, you know, do their own product right now without him. So apparently that's not true at all. Everyone's very understanding backstage. Even Vince, apparently there's no problem there. Of course, Roman's supposed to be the chosen one. The new choice, the chosen one. So I didn't think there was an issue to begin with, and apparently there's not actually an issue. All right, the next rumor is about actual wrestling shows. in California. So I believe in the last episode we talked about pro wrestling shows in my home state where I am right now, where I live, here in Tennessee. We actually talked about that. They actually have done, like, the state of Tennessee was the first, I believe the first state in the entire country to have a pro wrestling show with an actual crowd. Given it wasn't WWE, a much smaller stage, it's an indie, very small indie show, but they did have a crowd there. I heard it went quite well, and they had people there. I mean, of course, people are showing up in masks and stuff just to be, cautious. So Tennessee's okay. So what about other states? Obviously, Florida said it was possible, but the venues would have to be to a maximum of 25% capacity. So if the place held like 20,000 people, only 5,000 people could actually show up. But on to California. California is someone who's been very on the opposite, like Florida. Like Florida's been like, yeah, whatever, we're safe, we're cool, let's go ahead and bring shows back. California's been the opposite, been like, this is not safe at all, we are not having shows here, and you're looking at 2021, maybe even 2022, maybe never again, or I may be exaggerating just a little bit, but California's just not been wanting that to happen. But apparently they're changing their minds a little bit. They're allowing sports shows to happen actually in the state right now without a crowd, which is something they didn't allow. Florida obviously signed the thing allowing WWE to do just that months ago. Or at least it feels like months ago. It may have only been a few weeks ago. But so California is now allowing that. They're not quite to the point of allowing crowds, but once again, Florida's one step ahead of California actually allowing crowds at a small capacity. So who knows, things are starting to look better, which is going to lead me into the final news story, the final rumor, the final thing I will be talking about inside of this WWE news video. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about crowds returning to shows. I feel like I talk about this every episode. It's getting very old. It feels like it's just a dream and it's never going to happen. But I assure you it is happening and we are quite close. So, WWE, when are they planning to return to having the live events, live crowds and all that? Actually pretty soon. So they don't necessarily want to be the first ones in the world to do it because they're just going to get destroyed by the media. But then again, the old saying, there's no such thing as bad publicity. I mean, any attention you are getting is wonderful. So that's something I believe Vince very much believes in. It doesn't matter what the opinion is if he's taught us anything about the Saudi Arabia shows. So just before we jump into this, actually something got leaked today. I have a list right here. This was supposed to be the rest of the year pay-per-view locations and dates. Things are most definitely going to be moved around now, so who knows what is happening. But we'll talk about when they might possibly return. The schedule may still be pretty accurate. So this is from September on throughout the year of what they're doing, because we know, all the way up to Boston, SummerSlam, if they don't have to move. But September 20th, we have Clash of Champions, and that's going to be taking place in Newark, New Jersey. October 18th, we're going to be having Hell in a Cell. That's happening in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll definitely be going to that if that actually still happens. Up next, November 5th, we have a mystery pay-per-view. It's taking place in Saudi Arabia. So November 5th, they're looking to go back to Saudi Arabia. At least that was the initial plan. Plans have probably changed by now. After that, November 22nd, we have Survivor Series in Dallas. That's probably still going to happen as scheduled. It's one of the big four. They don't really like to move those around too much. And the final pay-per-view of the year looks like it's going to be TLC, December the 20th in Chicago, Illinois. So that's what the initial plan was. So let's reel you guys back into where I was. Where I was is when are shows actually returning with the crowd? When are they realistically looking at doing this? Well, Vince definitely wants SummerSlam to have a crowd. If he has to postpone it until September and kind of move around the schedule that I just talked about, to do so, he will. If he has to move locations from Boston down to Orlando or Tampa to be able to do the show, he will. He is very determined to have SummerSlam with a live crowd, filled up 100% capacity. So that looks like that's happening. But before then, obviously, they need to have a few test shows to make sure people are actually going to show up. So these test shows look like they would be in July. In July, they might try to go back to a full live crowd if they can do it. So that brings up the question of Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules is the pay-per-view that's going to be happening in July. So it's very possible Extreme Rules could have a crowd, but we're just going to have to wait and see. So there you guys have it. That's going to do it for this episode of WWE News and Rumors. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a like. If you're brand new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. That is absolutely free. Turn on the little push bell notifications to be notified when I upload another brand new amazing video. And yeah guys, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. I'm Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.